Hello, and welcome to Active Learning. Over the course of this video, my teammates and I will be sharing important information that'll help you become the perfect active learning representative and educator.
After-school program starts at 2. I recommend showing up 15 minutes early because showing up early is being on time. Being on time is late, and being late is unacceptable. Make sure you wear your active learning shirt and black bottoms to go with it. Active learning shirts come in a variety of colors. The students will recognize who you are, so wear your active learning shirt with pride. Once you're on site, first thing you do is sign in, and after signing in, you go and meet with your site coordinator. Now let's discuss professionalism. Make sure while you're teaching to not be chewing gum, to not act like you're hungry, to not eat in front of the kids, and also don't act tired. Make sure you come to work prepared each and every day. That means with a phone charger, since you'll be using your phone a lot to play music, and also have a lesson plan ready for the day.
Now remember, just because you're using your phone to play music does not allow you to use your phone for personal use. That means no texting and no listening to your own music. You should be paying attention to the students to make sure everyone is being safe. Manage your classes by walking around. Teachers should constantly be moving around to enhance their line of sight and to engage with the students to ensure they are understanding what they are doing and that they are comfortable with the material and atmosphere.
Now let's talk about safety.
Active Learning's physically safe programs are proven by our classroom organization and structure. The basis to our framework of safety procedures is the sequential operation of our program and classroom strategies before, during, and after each class. Each teacher should scope out the space details for physical safety and ensure that space must have adequate room for activities to be conducted. Teachers can organize their classrooms by using visual boundaries, such as colored cones or hula hoops. This will help students understand personal space and sharing space with others.
Beyond the physical environment, active learning educators are also aware of the emotional safety of their students. Teachers model behavior and form caring relationships with high expectations and plenty of opportunities for student success. With a careful understanding and heightened awareness to language, teachers use positive words and instruction to support and inspire their students. So instead of being negative and saying, "Don't look down," turn it into a positive and say, "Remember to look up." Think introspectively about what you're teaching and what you want your students to learn with a positive mindset.
Teaching moments are our way of helping students make good choices. There are 5 C's of behavioral management. The first one is clarity. Although sometimes it might seem a little redundant and a little bit like common sense, as teachers, it is our job to set clear expectations for our students. So the next one is consequences, which means unacceptable behavior and rewards should be identified. The next one is consistency. As their teacher, try to make sure that you're consistent with the things that you are expecting from them and follow through with the things that you say. The next one is caring. As a teacher, you have to understand that no student is a bad person nor a bad kid. Sometimes they just make bad choices because of where they are or the situation that they're currently facing. So as their teacher, you have to understand how to care for them and try to understand where they come from as far as why they are making choices. So talk to them rather than yell at them. Be empathetic and also try to understand why and how they are making these choices and how you can help them. The final one is change. Something to keep in mind is that every student is their own individual human being, and every human being has their own way of learning. So if something isn't working, if something is not resonating well with the student, then change your approach, change the way you are teaching it.
With that being said, consistency is key to let the kids know what they can and cannot get away with during class.
Team teaching and classroom management.
When it comes to teaching the class, we try and use only one voice. We never undermine each other. We always stick with the plan that we've made at the beginning of the day, and we see it through all the way. As co-teachers, we have mutual respect for one another.
Be sure to share the responsibilities of the classroom with your teacher. No one teacher should be carrying the entire workload of the day. Sharing responsibilities could be as simple as sharing warm-ups every other class, Also, maybe one teacher could do warm-ups while the other teacher is teaching a dance routine or going over choreography, while the other teacher could be walking around the room to manage the classroom. So our agreements are being respectful, being responsible, and being safe so that we can have fun. These are our 4 simple agreements that kids learn on the first day of school. However, repeating this on a day-to-day basis will produce lazy listeners. We want to make sure that it is very clear what our expectations are so we are not repeating ourselves over and over. Now, we all know that in dance studios we do have mirrors and we teach facing the front. However, at classrooms at schools, sometimes you don't have a mirror and you have to teach facing the students. This is important because we will always have children in our line of sight. We know who is being safe, who is not being safe, who's doing great, and who needs improvement.
Be a role model for your kids. You want them to be inspired and to look up to you.
Also remember that we are their teacher, not their friend. You are in control of your class.
Music and movement. To start with, music must be appropriate for elementary and middle schools.
Let's talk about the importance of body language with your students. So first of all, you have to understand that all of these students want a teacher who's there to care about them. So always make sure you make eye contact. Most importantly, please make sure that you always smile. No matter what kind of day you're having before you come into active learning, try to come in with a positive attitude, at least for the students.
Warm-ups. Teachers must use the warm-up mixes, which can be found in the Active Learning Dropbox folder.
A couple of things that you want to try to avoid is looking constantly at your phone, crossing your arms, and having a bored look on your face while teaching the warm-ups.
The purpose of warm-ups is to get the kids sweating and excited for the day's lesson. Warm-ups should be at the beginning of every lesson and be around 7 to 12 minutes long. Teachers should be prepared to give a high-energy cardio fitness workout while implementing musicality, pieces of choreography, the elements of dance, and just plain old fun. You as the teacher should use facial expressions, sing along, and encourage the students. It's also a chance for the teachers to perform, show off some skills, and challenge the students to do the same. Teachers should always run the warm-ups, but on Fridays, or as a special treat, should also give students the chance to lead a warm-up. This way, students can uncover their unknown potential, get fit, and feel good. Teachers have an incredible influence on their students, so be very conscious and aware the types of movements they do with the students. Teachers should stick to the art of movement without using inappropriate facial and sensual gestures. The movements should be age and developmentally appropriate, that build a deeper understanding and appreciation of dance.
The purpose of teaching the elements of dance is so that the children can really understand where a dance comes from. So it's not just teaching a pattern, teaching a combo every time. It's so that they can truly understand the basics and the background of dance. I start incorporating these lessons from day one because I believe that the sooner they learn the elements, the easier dance will become for them. Teaching the elements of dance is actually a pretty basic lesson plan, so I like to teach it the same for each class. But the way that you can build upon it is just adding upon to each lesson. So I don't really go about it in super different ways for each age group. It's just the way you build upon it in each lesson.
Creative movement focuses on exploring the elements of your body, time, space, and energy force to create shapes through everyday movements. This helps students communicate their feelings, enhance creativity. It also promotes high-level thinking. The movements teachers should focus on are locomotor and non-locomotor movement. There are 6 key things to remember when teaching the elements of dance. 1 is the concept of space. 2, the concept of time. 3, force and energy. 4, body. 5, the concept of movement. And 6, the concept of form. Teachers should describe when students will do something before describing what they will be doing. For example, when the music starts, skip to a new place in the room and freeze in a curved shape. Teachers should constantly challenge students to use different body parts, energy qualities, levels, pathways, or timing in dance. And social-emotional skills are integrated into each dance lesson.
Social, emotional, and character skills support student success. Students need to be able to assess their own skills and behaviors, work with others, and persist when faced with challenges. As teachers, we want our students to be prepared for productive careers and socially conscious, engaged citizens. We believe social-emotional learning can work to ensure that our students succeed. Active Learning's social, emotional, and character-building program supports 3 foundational areas. 1. I am intrapersonal skills, self-awareness, self-management. 2. I belong, interpersonal connections, social awareness, interpersonal skills. I can, beliefs and mindset, self-efficacy, and growth mindset. These social-emotional learning programs focus on providing students with a safe and positive learning environment through activities, relationships, and experiences.
Choreography. Teachers should put effort, creativity, and thought into their choreography. Formation should be showcased to keep it interesting. Should be more than 2 repeating sets of 8 counts. Be creative and work differently with each group. Music, dance pads do not count as choreography.
Performance and audience etiquette. It is very important for teachers to show how a proper audience acts while watching a performance. This means the audience members are quiet, focused, respectful, and applaud when appropriate. This also goes for student performers. Teachers must show how professional performers act on and off the stage. This means students should line up while hands behind their backs and find their space on the stage. No touching props, no giving direction to other performers. Absolutely no hiding. Performers should show the audience courage.
Show day. Teachers are expected to take each performance to a new height. Make sure all audio and visual aids are properly working and always have a backup plan. Don't rely on Bluetooth, keep an aux cord close. Shows should be creative, showing different formations, the elements of dance, technical choreography, surprise entrances, and smooth transitions with diversity in cultural and classical numbers. Transitions should be flowing and can have an interactive audience piece. Backdrops, props, and costumes should show creativity, effort, and individuality. Make the performance stand out by incorporating narration, MCs, and surprise elements. Let imagination run wild. The more creative you are as a teacher, the more creative the students will become.
Assessments. Using assessments, we will achieve our mission. This year, our mission for active learning is critical artistic appreciation. Students will gain an objective analysis and evaluation of dance in order to form a judgment, understanding, opinion, and/or conclusion. In order to achieve our mission, there are 4 different components. The first being intellectual and academic success. Students will analyze the elements of dance through daily lessons and activities. They will also measure their growth through pre- and post-written assessments. The pre-assessment will take place around the beginning of the rotation, and the post will take place around the end of the rotation. The second component is emotional and social emotional skills. Students will explore interpersonal communication, use personal choices, and practice empathy through daily lessons and social emotional skills. We will also measure through student participation and journals. The third component is physical and healthy lifestyles. Students will show evidence of dance elements through their performances. Students will also exercise daily during warm-ups and while learning their choreography. We will also measure through logging daily exercise minutes and performance videos. The fourth component is socialization and family engagement. Students will explore interpersonal communication and practice self-confidence through daily lessons and social emotional skills. We will also measure performances and document parents' involvement for our shows.
Now let's take a moment to think introspectively about teaching and learning. Developing a teaching philosophy will help us reveal our personal approach, our priorities, and our objectives. Think about how you have observed students in your classes, their learning processes, and when you feel most satisfied as their teacher. How does learning take place? How should teaching be conducted to facilitate and maximize the learning process? What is the student's role in this process? And the role of the teacher? Why is teaching important to you? What values do you want to impart to your students? Why do you want to be an active learning teacher?
Well, I've learned to be more confident, not to be scared on stage. I'm not scared no more to dance in public. And like, everyone's nice here and how it's amazing.
You guys have helped me especially learn how to dance, which is something I wanted to do but was never able to.
I'm like better dancer because you guys like push us to dance. So it helps me more.
Can you tell me one way that you think active learning has helped you over the last 3 years?
By being respectful and responsible.
What do you think that you've learned from your teachers over the last couple of years, like for yourself?
To not bully people and to be friends and to pay attention.
I like working with them because they like dancing like me and singing, acting, more stuff. But I really like it here because they help us dancing, help us with health and our issues.
Oh, what's your favorite thing that you've learned so far?
Dance.
Dance? Can you show me your favorite dance move? Oh! What's one thing that you guys just love and it makes the active learning teacher so special compared to whatever else you're used to?
They give us privileges. They give us freedom. They give us courage. They give us a lot, and especially having fun with them is a very important thing that I really loved.
What I like is I like how the active learning teachers were so friendly. It made you feel like you were a part of a family. It was really fun to dance with all you guys, you know?